I am so incredibly excited to welcome you to this explainer today. Because, well, we're exploring a site that radically, and I mean completely, flips everything you might know about purity and taboo right on its head. We're taking a journey to the Kamakhya Temple complex in Assam, India. It's this utterly fascinating place where ancient mythology, rich history, and, believe it or not, raw human biology all collide in the most breathtaking way.
So what if there was a temple where menstruation was actually worshipped? It's a pretty provocative thought, right? I mean, if you look at much of modern society, the biological source of life is often, hidden away. It's treated like a taboo. But today, we're going to look at how this ancient site actually venerates the female biological life force as the ultimate supreme cosmic power. It's a place that asks us to do what our culture so often flat out refuses to do, to actually let the woman rest, and to see true divinity in the raw reality of creation.
Section 1. The Temple with No Idol, the Sacred Abode of Shakti. Okay, so let's dive right into the very heart of this complex, sitting way up high atop the sacred Nilachal Hill in Guwahati. Now, unlike almost every other major temple you might visit, you absolutely won't find a carved statue or a traditional idol sitting at the center of Kamakhya. Nope. Instead, to reach the inner sanctum, the Garbhagriha, devotees actually have to descend this set of dark, uneven stone stairs into a hot, humid, subterranean cave. Down there, below ground level, they worship a natural cleft in the rock. This stone fissure is constantly bathed by an underground spring, and it's naturally shaped like a yoni. It literally represents the womb of creation. There's no face, no torso, just the raw origin point of all life.
Section 2. Myth of the Shakti Peetha, the legend of Sati and Shiva.
To really understand why a natural rock formation is worshipped with such intense, fierce devotion, we have to look back at the dramatic mythology recorded in the 10th century Kalika Purana, and it brilliantly illustrates this tragic cosmic love story. It starts with Goddess Sati, who marries Lord Shiva against the wishes of her father. Well, when her father openly insults Shiva at a massive fire sacrifice, a completely heartbroken Sati actually immolates herself in the flames. Shiva, the great yogi, is just driven to this world-shaking grief. He lifts her body and begins to perform the Tandava, the cosmic dance of destruction. To save the universe from his sorrow, Lord Vishnu follows him, using his cosmic chakra to gently dismember Sati's body, scattering the pieces all across the earth.
And that right there brings us to the whole concept of the Shakti Peetha. There are 51 of these highly sacred energy vortexes scattered across South Asia. But Kamakhya? Kamakhya became arguably the most sacred of them all. And why is that? Because Nilachal Hill is the exact spot where Sati's womb, her yoni, actually landed. It is the literal organ of manifesting life and pleasure.
Section 3. Architecture of Sacred Nilachal, a hybrid masterpiece.
So the really crucial point here is how this epic, sweeping mythology is anchored physically to the earth. The history lying beneath these stones is honestly staggering. Radiocarbon dating actually reveals that the oldest construction layers deep under this temple date back at least 2,200 years. Just let that sink in for a second. 2.5 millennia. And while it faced centuries of destruction, was rebuilt into its current form around 1520 AD, this has been a site of continuous, unbroken pilgrimage for thousands of years.
If we look at the main temple's design today, it showcases this fascinating hybrid known as the Nilachal style of architecture. It beautifully fuses the classical Nagara style, those towering, bulbous stone spires from North India, with local indigenous elements introduced by the regional Ahom kings. You can actually see these intricate, dragon-like terracotta sculptures and incredibly unique elephant-back-shaped roofs blending right into the classical stonework. It's a total architectural mashup.
Just think about the physical journey a visitor takes through these 4 distinct structures. You start off in the Nat Mandir, which is this light-filled hall historically used for ritualistic music and devotional dance. From there, you move into the Pancharatna with its 5 domes, then into the Chalanta Hall, before finally descending that narrow stone stairway into the pitch-black, deeply intimate Garbhagriha. You are quite literally journeying from the bright, chaotic outside world straight down into the quiet, dark womb of the earth.
And historically, even just reaching the temple was a profound experience. Pilgrims would climb Mekalo, this ancient stone pathway connecting the plains to the top of Nilachal Hill, walking right through lush forests filled with birdlife and monkeys. But sadly, reports show this living link to our past is kind of fading into history. Sliced apart by modern roads, the path is slowly being reclaimed by nature. It desperately needs preservation, so the next generation doesn't completely miss out on this incredible heritage.
Section 4. Tantra and Secret Rituals, the Dasa Mahavidyas.
Let's look at how all this history builds into the living, breathing spiritual practices of the temple today. Because Kamakhya isn't just a cool architectural marvel. It is the absolute heart of Tantra, and it's widely accepted as the birthplace of modern Shaktism. Nilachal Hill is essentially a massive sacred complex surrounded by individual temples dedicated to the 10 great mother goddesses of wisdom. Inside the main temple, Kamakhya herself is worshipped as Shodashi. She's the eternally 16-year-old goddess of desire, radiating this intense energy that draws tantrics and yogis from all over the planet.
But what makes this place truly mystical is the Kulachara Tantra Marga. All of Kamakhya's highly complex religious traditions exist in this impenetrable secret sphere. I mean, you won't find a manual or a written document for these practices anywhere. The mantras and techniques are passed strictly through oral tradition, from senior gurus directly to newly initiated priests. It is a fiercely guarded, living tradition. No books, just the spoken word.
Section 5. When the goddess bleeds, the Ambubachi Mela. All of this deep secrecy, rich mythology, and profound architecture culminates every June in what is easily one of the most uniquely subversive and fascinating festivals in the entire world. During the Assamese month of Ahar, it is believed the mother goddess undergoes her annual menstruation, and in response, the entire temple complex just shuts down for 4 days. No bells are rung, no fires are lit, and even local farmers refuse to till the soil or plant seeds. The entire rhythm of the region just halts, simply to let the divine woman rest.
And this creates a truly breathtaking contrast. Inside the temple, there is just utter, complete silence. The deities are gently tucked in and covered with a cloth, resting in the pitch dark. But outside on Nilachal Hill, over 1 million pilgrims, ash-covered ascetics, and Naga Babas absolutely erupt in a massive, wild, chaotic celebration of fertility. The sacred just spills right out into the streets with beating drums, loud chanting, and this immense, palpable spiritual energy.
The mountain during this festival becomes a total magnet for seekers and mystics. There's this great story from a journalist who was documenting the festival. He recounted sitting next to an eccentric, elderly sadhu dressed head to toe in leopard print. Out of nowhere, the sadhu just handed him a simple 1 rupee coin, delivering this profound, incredibly grounding message. Not all wealth shines. Not all help is loud. And honestly, that perfectly captures the essence of Kamakhya. Power found not in grand, flashy displays, but in the quiet, raw truths of our existence.
Section 6. The Power of the Yoni, Redefining Purity.
Ultimately, what happens at the end of this festival entirely challenges the deeply ingrained social stigmas around women's bodies that we see in so much of the world today. When the temple doors finally reopen on the 4th day, the Angavastra, which is the cloth that covered the stone yoni during the resting period, is brought out. Instead of being hidden away or washed clean as something polluted, this red-stained cloth is distributed to the millions of devotees as the ultimate, most sacred blessing. It is revered, bottled, folded up, and taken home as a literal miracle. Talk about flipping the script entirely.
So I really want to leave you with this thought to ponder. We live in a world where the biological reality of women is so often sanitized, hidden, or just spoken about in whispers. But when an ancient temple forces us to confront it head-on, to see true, awe-inspiring divinity in the raw, unapologetic reality of creation, it absolutely redefines our connection to life itself. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.